All right, traders, welcome into my Thursday session. I don't think I uploaded yesterday because I was very busy. But I'm was in Bitcoin and ETH limit longs, which failed. I was trying to long up here, and I'm not so interested in this area. I'm more interested in down here. I'm also, and I'm expecting ETH to probably take these lows. I don't know what would happen in one day. And I don't know what would happen before another move up first, but we need to look under the hood. I am in two shorts. I'm short Rose and I'm short Pepe, and they've continued moving in my favor. Interesting, I didn't take BNX long here. I didn't really have the time to think about it, but I mean, in retrospect, okay, it would be working. How wide would my stop be, though? Yeah, it'd be up about 1R. I took it here and it failed, but that looked pretty good. ENA, I was short, and I was short XRP like so, and I was short Luna like so. So I could have stayed with more shorts, but I did just kind of transferred my risk to these ones, and I've stayed with these ones, and they're working, and I'm not in any long, so I'm happy. I am noting that Bitcoin has not been going lower. Actually, it's been going sideways, which is a sign of relative strength. So let's go ahead and start by looking at silver, which is consolidating at highs. Sorry, gold. Silver had a pullback at this high and is coming back to challenge it again. And yeah, just sideways consolidation, mostly on the indices. A little bit of pullback in some of them. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's go through. Dominance is up as the market dumps and Bitcoin holds stodgy. So I'm for sure interested in how to get into Bitcoin longs for the next move. Total, total three. XRP, yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna go through a lot of shorts or a lot of charts quickly just to see. Yeah, I kind of wish I had taken that BNX long. I think I just didn't have enough time yesterday. I was too rushed. I was super rushed yesterday. I had so little time. Popcat's really interesting. This is one I took a loss trying to short. It poked me out at the highs, but it hasn't really moved. It's really strong. Popcat's really strong. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a trend above all-time highs on this. Um, I don't think, oh, it's lagging. I think like it's showing relative strength, and that means something. Nothing here gives me a reason to open or add risk necessarily. There's no fresh signals. I want to see if anything hit a monthly low. Maybe that would give a long, but I would most likely just hold. I made money on the shorts from the highs. I wish that I had hammered it harder though, especially XRP, because in my video I was like, yo, XRP looks 10 out of 10 for a short, and I didn't take it. Okay, CRV, it's kind of interesting. Oh, it's okay. There's a couple. CVX just. Oh, let's look at a couple. I really dislike longing alts, but sometimes it works. And I just want to pay attention to the signals that are happening. There's a couple signals that are happening. So cost is one, COSPA. This one is too late for me to take, but Maker just hit as well. There's a number of one MX. It's really interesting actually. So that would be a sign for me to potentially get out of my shorts. I want to see what's going on. I also want to see, did Bitcoin give us a 1 hour fair value gap to the bullish side, which could give us a reason to, TRX is setting up short. Very interesting. Very interesting. So I'm gonna take my time here. We've got a couple options. Worm could have been late. Yeah, I missed this one. This one was yesterday. I was just way too busy yesterday, so missing a couple trades from yesterday's is forgivable. Yeah, FTM came in late also. Blur or is near enough, but I don't like that it hasn't really moved. I just want to look at some. There's a number of them that I want to look at. Wait, what was this at the bottom here? Apt is also signaling. Okay, so we have a couple possible signals. Let's start with Bitcoin, and I want to look on the 1 hour. It's just chopping downwards. Definitely not setting up long. Rose, Pepe kind of bleeding. Okay, let's look. Somebody asked, are you a swing trader or are you a day trader? Well, how would you label it? I'm on the charts 15 minutes to an hour a day, and I'm holding my trades for a while. Let's focus on Bitcoin. So what we see on Bitcoin, we did get negative funding, but funding's high again, and spot has kind of been selling back to, it's kind of been selling back off. I'm noticing the global funding rate actually went negative recently, which gives me pause to think that maybe I should be looking for longs on the market, but there's not that many setups, but there's a couple. Um, so yeah, funding actually did go negative. So that's something that I'm gonna be paying attention to when we consider opening and closing stuff. But when we look at Bitcoin, it looks okay for another move down. We're gonna look at ETH. Therefore, I'm not gonna try to chase it up, and I'm still interested in not this swing low on the daily here. This and trying to catch a liquidation under that. That's primarily what I'm interested in right now. Um, the daily candle started 45 minutes ago. I was taking a nap. I was up at 5 a.m. and working on a boat all day, so I really needed that nap to feel good and be ready to battle. But my signal's an hour stale, so I wanna get into positions if possible. ETH honestly looks a lot better to me than Bitcoin because we can see a lot of open interest has drained out. A lot of open interest has drained out. CVD is going sideways. Our spot's been going a little bit more sideways than down here, and it's more longs closing and maybe shorts. Yeah, a lot of longs closing. So that tells me I'm maybe interested in ETH limit longs, and that would maybe look like this area right here. And I would probably just run a super wide stop and have a really small position. 1,900. Yeah, I think I might set a limit like this on ETH. This is also a possibility, would be trying to be a buyer right in here. And I kind of like that also, but maybe also a small size. But what I like about that is ETH looks kind of strong where it is. So I would look for price to come in here. I think I would take a stab at this with a small position. Something like this. And then I would just be looking to come up here, something like that. And then try a bigger position down here. And then I have this position down here. I'm going to ignore this one on Bitcoin. Now, let's move on. And let's look at the two that I'm in. And I'm interested in adding on a couple. So let's start with apt, ohm, TRX. These are the possible shorts that I can do. So I'm going to start with these, but I want to look at Pepe. I want to look at Pepe, and I want to look at Rose. And then I have a couple other ones. CVD. Pepe looks like it's maybe coming down to near being a close. We've lost a lot. We've drained a lot of open interest out already. 40% out. So we're probably nearing the end of our run. And then I'm also noticing that for Rose, same thing. We've had significant draining of open interest, and it could go lower. But we're also starting to see negative funding, which can happen on the way down, but is giving me caution. Now I want to look at the ones that are giving possible shorts from today. The TRX, apt, and ohm. Okay. Funding's been going positive and negative, and we're already seeing spot buy, but we're seeing an insane increase in open interest. But some of that could also be a mix of, I just don't want to touch it, it's not good enough. I want to see a major divergence. It's also not a huge increase. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock off TRX as a possibility. I'm not gonna trade it. It's not good enough. Okay, if I was in it, maybe I could hold it, but that's not something to open a short on. Same thing with Aptos. Yes, we're seeing an increase in open interest, but we're seeing funding coming down. So there's a lot of shorts in here too. And um, especially locally, this move is spot driven. And actually, a lot of this move is spot driven. So we can also eliminate Aptos as a possible trade and leave that alone. Right, I don't need to trade. I want to make money. And whatever that looks like. So the first thing I'm seeing for ohm is funding coming in and out of negative, which I don't really like. We're also seeing a lot of draining of open interest has already happened. But what I do like is seeing spot has been steadily coming down, and it looked like a lot of price increasing was from shorts closing, but there was this big spike up in here with negative funding, which was shorts. Weird. Um, Ohm looks somewhat tradable actually because we don't have the CVD up line and we have from down here we went from 12 to 21 million dollars in open interest. So Ohm's is maybe shortable, but it's also a late signal and it's kind of defied. I want more clues from the chart. We are seeing these fair value gaps rejecting. I don't know that I like it because also it's been a pretty efficient move up. You see, efficient moves up are more likely to have to not go down or to go down very slowly, right? The best is when there's really sharp moves, and that's not what we have. So I'm also gonna leave Ohm alone. Next, I'm gonna look at possible longs, which would be CVX. I missed BNX. CVX, CRV, Maker, and MX for possible longs. Okay, so let's start with CVX, CRV, MX, Maker. Okay, CVX, CRV, MX. What is MX? MX? I don't see it here. MX token. MX. Okay. Do I have CVD on here? Is that in TradingView? Yeah, sort of. It's not right. Well, I'm gonna leave MX alone because it's not, I don't have, it kind of looks better though because it has a wick and it's kind of green, but um, MX. We have, and then the last one I wanted to look at was the funding rate for Maker. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna leave MX alone just because I'm not able to get good data on it. So we have to leave it alone. So the first thing I see with CVX is that funding is kind of negative and open interest, there's not very much open interest. It's at a floor of 3 million. Spot hasn't really been buying, so I don't know that it's a good trade, but I didn't eliminate it yet. CRV is interesting because we're seeing negative funding and yeah, open interest never really increased, but we saw spot just selling off here. But the negative funding is pretty interesting. It's just so much easier to see a good sh short than a good long. This one I kind of like. This one I like the most. Why do I like Maker the most? Well, open interest already has drained out significantly, and we're seeing steady CVD spot up and steady futures down, and we've seen lower negative funding. So, of all these, Maker looks the best to me. That said, it's not showing relative strength right now. Pepe is likely to hit my target. Rose maybe less so, but I can just leave my stops for now. They don't look super bad. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I would say of these, the only one that looks, I don't know, CRV looks kind of interesting. The funding is pretty negative. Just don't really like trading alts to the long side. ATR bands. Why is it not showing? We have 100 days here. CVX, CRB. CVX is showing relative strength, but it's the worst looking of these. But honestly, funding is negative. But look, this is shorts. Interesting. How is it possible that there's buying pressure as price is going up and it's showing buying, but the funding is getting more negative? That almost doesn't make sense. So we haven't looked at ETH. No, we did look at ETH. ETH looks decent. So yeah, I'm wondering why my ATR bounds isn't working. What's going on? Why isn't it working? Let's try another ATR bounds. I don't know why this one isn't working. Okay. ATR bands help me with my stop loss, is why I'm interested in them. What is this? I want it to be 1, and I want the period to be 100. Okay. So, kind of hard to want to be a buyer. Let's think about this. We didn't create any bullish gaps on CRV. CVX actually has. Maker doesn't look bullish at all. I like the idea of playing ETH for a small bounce from here. Don't know that that would work, but I like the idea of trying. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna leave these shorts. And I'm kind of interested in, feels like a terrible thing to do. To me, Maker looks the worst because it's a red day and it's just not, it just looks like shit. So my idea would be, this is actually slightly late signal, but it's showing some kind of relative strength. Honestly, I hate it. It's like trying for a little 1R, right? I'm not aiming for that monthly high. There's no way. I would just be looking at a 1R. I like seeing my shorts working. CRV and CVX, both showing a little bit of relative strength. I mean, it's within my rules to do it. It's acceptable. I don't really like it, but CRVs looks like it could squeeze or be moved. A Maker honestly looks good on this is the best looking setup from under the hood. It's just showing relative weakness, not relative strength. But I don't know, I like the idea maybe we get in at a cheaper price. And this is the one that I could target the furthest, probably. I think I'm gonna do it, but with pretty small risk, maybe. Interesting. CRB, CVX. I think I'm gonna fire on him in pretty small size. And then I'm gonna put in these ETH limits, and then I'm gonna call it a day. And probably leave Pepe and Rose running. No, I don't like the funding. Let me get out of Pepe. Look at what's happening with the funding here. Right. Funding going super negative. Let me cut it. And Rose. Let's look. Rose is debatable, but Pepe I want to close. It's I don't want to hold a negative funding, so I'm gonna do it. Okay. Order and position history. Position history. 755. So Pepe, I'm gonna take him. It might keep working, but I don't want to take my chances on negative funding. I'm gonna leave Rose. And then I'm interested in throwing a little bit on these three. Maker looks the best under the hood to me, so this is the one that I'm gonna try with the biggest size. But we're gonna do it. I'm gonna keep my size pretty small though, because I just don't love. I just don't love how wide is my stop gonna be in terms of leverage? 9%. So let's fire a little bit. 9 maker. Okay, I'm gonna put my stop at 1,289. Oh, my position's way too big actually. I need to close half of it at least. I just have large risk. I don't really like it though. Uh, yeah, let me fix this right now. I'm gonna close the market I lost. Okay. Now my loss is 489, which is probably still more than I want. I would target 1615. And CVX and CRV. CVX, CRV is probably the worst looking of the bunch. It has quite a lot of negative funding though. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with CVX though? The funding's being negative isn't meaning that much, but I'm okay throwing a little bit into CRV. Um, how wide is my stop gonna be? About 12%. Okay, so 9x is fine. My stop at 0.2265. Wow, way too much again. Close. I'm gonna close half. Okay. Probably more risk than I want. Still. Target 0.2872. It's like less than 1R. It's kind of terrible. And then we have CVX, which maybe we leave this one alone because we're saying this move just doesn't really make that much sense. I'm also not looking on the right. Not looking at MEXC, which I should be. CVX. CVX looks okay, honestly. Let's look at it on MEXC, where it's cleaner. Looks a lot cleaner here. I think we'll do it, but I'm gonna come through and clean out. Something like that. 1R. Interesting. Then for Rose, yeah, I'm gonna leave Rose as is. CVX. We'll do CVX too. I may want to reduce my risk a little bit. Risk just a small amount. I'll put my stop at 1.685. CVX. 1.685. Targeting 2.1, 2.15. Okay. I think I want to reduce my position sizing on shorts though, considering that I just don't really trust them. So right now I have about 300, about 360, and 400. So I have like 1,000 at risk. I don't know, it's maybe okay. My concern is that its price falls through the floor. I lose all these, and then I also lose ETH. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight red days on that one. Kind of digging it. I do think I want smaller position though. Let me come back to that in a minute though. But I have 3 new trades today. Which is Maker, CRV, CVX. Belongs, which is MTP market. I'm gonna mark Pepe as market. Finding went negative. Okay. So we're sitting in these. I mean, Bitcoin looks super strong. However, it's not giving a way to get in right now. And ETH looked like it could go too, but let's throw in a couple ETH limits. This one, so let's go to ETH now. And then I'll come back and maybe make smaller positions on the longs, but I think I'm gonna leave it alone for now. So I'm gonna set it at 2228. It's a 4 hour gap under a weekly when ETH looks kind of strong. And then my idea is if we just come too low, I want to be out. So I'm looking at, yeah, maybe this gap to be a support, initial support. So let's do 2228. And my stop is going to be 2174. So it's about a 50. I would be okay risking 10 ETH. And then for my take profit, I would aim perhaps to this high at 2,400. So there's a limit. At 2228. 26 plus 28. Okay, we can do that. And then I'm also going to have a limit all the way down here. At 2060 with a stop loss at 1955. So that would be a 100-point stop, right? So I'm going to risk smaller. And my TP for that would be higher. I would look to maybe trade back up here possibly. Who knows? 2725. Okay. I'm gonna look at my limits. Make sure I like the risk. Okay, I like that. I like that. And I like that. My only issue right now is, am I risking too much on the longs that I opened? I'm okay with having those trades. Again, Maker's the one that looks the best under the hood to me. And it has it has the furthest TP. I don't really love being in longs and shorts at the same time. So I'm tempted to close my rows long as we see, well, we've got a major draining and spot is kind of tilting up. So I think I'm gonna close my rows. Which I did. Rows is 1014 was the profit. Okay. So I'm showing profit. Rows. What's wrong with this? This doesn't look right. This is a win. This is a loss. Okay. Why did it not go? This isn't right. This is a loss. Okay, so this was maybe wrong. I for sure like closing Pepe. It may go here, but it's just very close. I would say I have more at risk than I want. And Maker being the best one, maybe I kind of leave that one alone. But I don't have so much at risk. Okay, I want to get the risk down to 1,000 maybe. 489. I want to leave Maker alone. I'll just close a little bit of CVX, and then it should be all right. So right now I have CRV, 217, 287. I'm gonna close a little bit of this one too. 244. Okay, I got my risk down to actually less than 1,000 now. And considering how good Maker looks, I mean, it looks okay. Maybe I just leave it like this and wait for lower. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm risking, and it's not like a really great, I think I would come in and close tomorrow or the weekend, like if we're under here, close. So that can, I'm gonna also have that plan, have that as a plan. Close on, uh, take loss on closes under monthly. So that can save me from taking a whole whole loss. And yeah, I don't need to risk huge on alt shorts because, sorry, on alt longs because it just doesn't really make sense to me. But hey, look, we're creating bullish fair value gaps there. Looks pretty good. My decisions so far are looking pretty good. And that's going to be it for the day. About to log off. Yeah, BNX long would have worked great. But again, I was very busy doing other shit, so. And then I have some ETH longs from lower, right? Okay, like it. Let's go. Peace, much love.